All right, good evening, Saints Nation. Welcome back to Saints Game Day. We have ourselves up to 4 matches lined up back to back to back, if not happening pretty much at the exact same time here tonight. Going to be an exciting one. My name's Dan Banner, also known as Mr. Danners, joined by Brendan Matthews, a.k.a. Commodus. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing great for a Wednesday.
Good, good. Happy hump day to everybody, I suppose. Just all of us need a little bit more sleep. It sounds like some days or another. But one thing that's going to be keeping us wide awake, though, is plenty of Saints esports action. So we get started things off, of course. Got 3 games happening at 7 o'clock, so we do not have much time to really wait here. Going to be hopping in pretty well quickly, but to kind of count things off here, our Saints varsity roster for Valorant going up against Rowan University. We also at the same time have NECC Legends action for the League of Legends squad going up against the University of Illinois. Then for Academy action, West Virginia University is going to be our opponent for some Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 action. It sounds like that's got some stakes on the line. We'll definitely talk about that momentarily. And then maybe in a little bit later on, of course, the Collegiate iRacing League returns once again for round 5, this time at Interlagos. But plenty of stuff on the card. What are you excited for?
I'm excited for League of Legends. I haven't seen any of their games yet, but they're 2-0. I'm hoping for a strong draft and some good macro plays and getting those rotations to each objective properly at proper timings.
No, absolutely. We'll definitely get plenty of that. I know this is basically Christmas for League of Legends fans. Of course, League of Legends Worlds basically just getting started, I think, like a day or 2 ago. So an excited time for all around. I know some updates are short to follow after that as well. But to kind of go from the top down, though, from the graphic behind us here. So we're starting things off with our Valorant squad going up against Rowan University. And basically with this NACE StarLeague season in general, they have just been kind of putting on a tear. They have not dropped a map really to anybody, it looks like. It's just 2-0 after 2, or George Mason, doesn't matter. University of North Carolina, gone. Bethany, gone. And meanwhile, Rowan University, it looks like they're also having themselves a pretty good time, sitting 4-1.
Yes. Well, I think the one word to sum up our varsity League of Legends team is dominance. Like watching them play, just the individual skill, it's there, right? Their strats, smart, they're proper. They're not like 5-man rushing every round playing, not that smart, right? Playing more of a PUBG. They're smart. They're taking map control. They're picking good comps for each map. I'm kind of tired of watching Lotus. I'm gonna be honest.
Fair.
Like they 2-0 everyone. It's either Lotus and Haven, or like I don't know the other map, but it's they are there. They're playing like a team every time. Like it's just win after win, round after round. They break the team's economy. They win their +1s on a consistent basis. It's absurd to watch sometimes. It's like what can the other team do?
Yeah, which is really interesting because I know the first look that we had of our Valorant squad was actually in NECC. So before we even got into the NACE StarLeague, and they were having a little bit of a tough time. I think they had dropped either 1 or 2 games to kind of start off the season. It's like, oh no, are they gelling? What's really going on here? But then we go to NACE.
It was 0-2 against Winthrop University.
Right, I remember.
Right, right off the bat. But,
yeah, that's what started
first game
us
of the
off.
season, right?
Yeah, it took maybe a little game or 2 to warm up, and then it was just the snowball kind of kept rolling from there. Now, taking a look, we were talking about NECC League of Legends action. It is going to be an interesting one. Of course, University of Illinois, a team that we've played plenty of times across multiple different esports, but maybe the first time, I believe, this season for League of Legends. Our Saints are currently 2-0, of course, on one of the side streams. I think they were basically our original game day broadcast. We took on Converse, took down Fisher College. Matches were so disgusting that I was worried about getting TOS and going on kick because, like, those were just absolute face rolls, and they just looked ridiculously good, which is why I'm a little bit worried for the University of Illinois, to say the least, because they're kind of starting a little bit slower here. They also went up against Converse, but lost. And then they did go up to Winthrop and lost as well. So sitting 0-2, looking for their first win this season.
Well, I would think for them, at least, the pressure's off their shoulders. They are coming in as the underdog here, right? So they can play like just average. They have no stakes, right? St. Clair, 2-0, right? You know, they want to keep that going, right? If things go wrong early game, it could spell disaster. It could snowball, like especially mentality in League of Legends is a big thing that just definitely distances decent teams and really good teams. It's keeping that mental throughout the whole game.
It really shows off the consistent versus the peaky, right? So that would be absolutely huge to take a look at. And then with this this League of Legends squad, like they've been through NECC, through NACE, it's been pretty well clean. The only real time I feel like we've seen them really get challenged so far, on broadcast anyway, was I believe last week during the Aegis Champions League. And that's not even necessarily a collegiate tournament. That's just a tier 2 amateur tournament where General Hearts Gaming kind of took that one away from us. But in terms of things collegiate, looking really, really strong. Going to quickly pop on things over to one of the games that's also going to be starting us off tonight. We have Academy Call of Duty for the NACE Open Premier League, and a little bit of stakes here on this one. Of course, squad going up against West Virginia University, and the goal for them, of course, is always to take the W. But by doing so, it would lock them in to an LCQ spot for the NACE playoffs. Right now, only the person who finishes first in their division gets the free ride into playoffs, but it sounds like second and third seeds kind of have to duke it out. So if we do win today, that guarantees us to be in that kind of spot.
Well, the path is laid out for the academy team. If they keep playing like they're doing, they just have to walk. I think if they just walk, keep the fundamentals there. I think they should secure this game pretty easily.
Absolutely. And of course, we're no strangers to seeing some really quick and really strong Call of Duty action. Of course, the Varsity squad put on a show consistently across week after week, but I'm not going to lie, watching this Academy squad gets me just as excited. Some of the players I'm still kind of getting used to, like Ranger and Siri, for example. It's weird seeing Siri playing something that has absolutely nothing to do with building things and cranking 90s, but I'll tell you what, he's picked up the Call of Duty stuff, and he's been killing it alongside everybody else on that squad. But in terms of records, of course, our Saints are currently 4-1. Meanwhile, our opponents, West Virginia University, are 2-3. So statistically, kind of sounds like if we do need that one specific win, that this might favor us ever so slightly, but I do not want to sleep on West Virginia.
No. The time where you underestimate your enemy, you don't expect.
That's when you lost.
Yeah, that's when you lose, right? Mentally, you already came in that game. You already have a losing mindset. Thinking don't just we can goof around, not try as hard. But you start throwing rounds, you start throwing hard points, and COD is definitely a game based on momentum, right?
Yeah. You try one too many trick shots, and all of a sudden the game's tied, and it's like, wait, what happened? But
yes,
it can absolutely turn.
Overtime's a whole different beast.
Oh, absolutely. If it gets there, then you know you're in trouble. Last thing, of course, on the docket, assuming we do get to it, is going to be the Collegiate iRacing League's Formula Collegiate. And, of course, round 5 Interlagos. We're basically halfway through the season right now. And from someone who was kind of mentoring that team in the past, used to compete on that squad as well in the past, road courses, like these Formula 4 kind of cars, have never been our strong suit. It's always been the ovals, like the NASCAR-styled next-gen cars that we've always been really good at.
Right?
yeah, doing donuts on the ovals, and that's where we were able to get our championship about a year ago. But I tell you what, Saints as a whole are pulling through, and then especially Athena Clair.
Oh, absolutely.
We did have Collegiate iRacing League on game day for the very first game day there. And it must have been a stroke of good luck of sorts, because 2 podium finishes, a second and a third respectively, massive points in that Student Drivers Championship. And right now, that puts her from what normally is kind of like a middle of the pack, 18th kind of finishing season. She's currently 4th in the Student Drivers Championship, which is absolutely insane. A massive season so far for her going into this one, sitting there at I believe it was 80-something points or something along others.
Something ridiculous.
But in terms of winning that championship, that's going to be a little bit hard, though.
Yes.
Our Muhammad Alif out of Ball State University is sitting there with 179. Dude's basically won everything at this point here.
I swear he's playing with his eyes closed. Like,
definitely feels that way sometimes. But
you see him what race? He's like 10 seconds ahead of everyone. It's like, well, what can we do?
as
This
I
guy's
say,
a savant.
yeah, anybody who follows actual Formula One kind of knows how that feels right now. But still interesting to be able to respect that kind of dominance. But now there's, of course, not just the Student Drivers' Championship, but collegiate-wise as well, where all the teammates' points come together and have like a championship shot towards that collegiate style. We are not fourth, we are third. So we're just right behind Ball State because, granted, driver 1 and 2, Muhammad Alif and then Cale Davidson, 1 and 2 in the drivers' points, both from Ball State.
Yeah.
So, okay, they're just absolutely raking it in. They're running away with it. But now we're sitting there in third. We're chasing Florida International University, if I do recall correctly. And it's being up in the podium again for the road series. Definitely a absolute accomplishment. Just got to close it out now. And, of course, looking forward to seeing our new drivers. Not just Athena Leclerc, of course, but we do have Tristan Leclerc. Can't mix those up, Leclerc and Leclerc. And then Adrian as well. Newcomers looking for their first points. Of course, I'm talking about points. What am I talking about? It's basically finishing in the top 10. Otherwise, you don't get any points at all. So, looking for a strong finish. Get themselves on the board. But should be a fun one nonetheless to keep track of.
Oh, absolutely.
That being said, though, it is going to be a couple of more moments before we do get the show rolling here with Saints Game Day. Thank you for joining us for our pre-show. We're going to throw it to a very, very quick break. With the next time, we're going to be on either the field, the Rift, or something or another. We'll see you there. All right, Saints Nation, welcome back. We are about to go in live here with some NACE STARLEAGUE VALORANT. Rowan University versus our St. Clair Saints varsity squad coming up in just a short moment or two. Of course, going to be exciting for this one. Curious to see if maybe that Lotus curse of yours comes back here in a moment's time or not. But do hear some gunshots. We should be hopping in just a couple of moments here, but. Considering the records on both of these teams, I am absolutely looking forward to this. This should not be a stomp in any way, shape, or form as we do hop in live. And of course, the big thing here for all you viewers watching us here on Saints Game Day, if you want specifically just to watch one game, be sure to check the bottom left-hand corner there. That'll have the stream link or ! streams on the broadcast will send you directly to the individual's feed. So you won't get stuck flip-flopping constantly. You get to watch the game if you wish. Or join us here, as we do see Saints looking like they're in a rather dominant position and going to clean things up rather nicely. So pistol rounds going in their favor, cleaning things up with round 2. Looking good.
Yes, my dream, my wish has been answered. We got split, not Lotus, thank God.
True.
But yes, easy second round conversion for St. Clair here. Going on their +1 here. Going for the standard team composition for split here. Some people like to opt for the, instead of a Cypher, to Killjoy, but that's more of a personal preference. But Sky for the intel. Omen's probably the best smoker, I would say, on this map. There has been a nerf to Astra. Astra used to be the premier smoker for this map here, but after the nerf to her pull, she kind of lost favor here. Breach and Raze, of course, good combo. But let's see what they do here on their +1 here. Looks like they're stacking up more for insight for good B defense. But this should be Rowan's University's first round here, because they have the better weapons.
In theory, but I feel like the Saints are going to fire back here, especially if Rowan University gets caught deathballing it towards the center, which it looked like they were about to for a second. That would have been problematic. That's Caillou right there, who was essentially right there, ready and waiting. But it does seem like there is a little bit of a reroute happening more towards that A side.
Looks like Rowan University has the call and the read of 3B, looking to exploit the A site, but they don't know that the Cypher is actually posted up on this A site. Dogging out, Caillou getting intel that mid is clear, and that should for oh, here they come. There's the execute out. Raze on site. Hopefully they shoot the trips. If they don't shoot the Giza with a kill through the smoke.
Okay. Yeah, start things off nicely, but it does manage to get the one pick, but they do get the site control ever so slightly. So Saints going to be stuck in a position where they have to retake, really taking their time there, getting that spike down. So only now can they actually get moving, as we do see the Saints pretty much ready to attack from multiple angles here onto this A site. They will have some high ground. Smiley just charging on in with Caillou. Point blank does not matter. Astra is still alive, but she's all the way down to Narnia at this point. She's not getting back in time. Saints with the defuse.
Again, Saints winning the bonus. I've seen this too much, honestly. It's getting kind of weird. Usually, it was kind of a weird plan out of Rowan University. You didn't have control of A Heaven, but you still tried to go and plant for A Heaven for the post plant. I guess that was probably for the Astra lurk, but the lurk came in too late. And with Breach and Raze, still with all their util, able to clear out backside with the nade. There's not much where they could hide after that.
It really did feel like they were almost like kind of surprised that they got onto that A site as quickly as they did, to the point where they kind of panicked a little. Like, it took them just too long to get that spike down. They could not get into their post plants in a very, very clean manner. By the time they really started moving, they were immediately shot down. As they look towards A to start things off, it seems like Wave here on the side of Rowan University is kind of like that roamer of sorts, like if I had to use an R6 term. But a little bit of a trade to start things off here. 4 on 4 with a minute or so left to go, and they just cannot quite get a hold of this. The spike down on A, that is going to be problematic. So you do see 2D4K on site, but of course trying to crawl on through. Does get that A spike, and here we go.
Again, I just don't understand why they keep planning for Heaven when they don't have Heaven control. Yeah, I understand that is the best and highest win rate plant spot, for A, but it only wins if you have A control. But Caillou
Got him.
getting the 2, and St.
There's
Clair
the
4-0.
flag. Jeez, from what looks like an actual kind of a tough position for the Saints to have to retake, they managed to make that look pretty cleanly with Caillou getting the quick double and then using the utility to flash him out immediately after. Works nicely. As we do, of course, split things up here over on the Saints Academy CA stream. This is going to be that Call of Duty matchup that we were talking about, where the last chance qualifier spot excuse me, is on the line here for our Saints if they can manage to win here today. Hardpoint. First one initially didn't necessarily go into their favor, but they did retake it, trying their best to fight on through. But it looks like West Virginia just trying to give them as much of a hard time as possible, slowly but surely cleaning off the site to the point where now West Virginia has the lead again, it looks like.
Now Hardpoint really relies on trades, right? You know, getting kills is great, but if you don't win that map control, if you don't streak, if you don't get that point, you don't win the game. You don't win the match. Oh, the card goes off.
Okay, I guess that's one way to do it. Getting a little bit cheeky there, and that's going to let the Saints have the point. Meanwhile, of course, on the Valorant side of things, Saints are holding their own. It looks like it's a B-side push this time for Rowan University. Lots of gunfire to be had, but nobody really committing to anything yet. But just one player here on the side of West Virginia on the Call of Duty match. 5-2, starting off rather strong. Going to be tough for the Saints to try and break that one. Meanwhile, on the side of Valorant, of course, Saints do actually find the first pick, it looks like, going into this round. Going to make the lives of Rowan University just that much more difficult. But it looks like A-Site is open again, but with how it's been going so far, I don't blame the Saints are kind of letting them have it.
Hardpoint has now changed to another position, but these pros definitely know where each spawn location is going to be. Have it mapped out. But St. Clair has control over the point and looks like able to tie it up. But it's still early in this game. Anything can happen.
No, absolutely. Just trade after trade, it looks like here in this Call of Duty game. Very few opportunities for people to really get that breakout run. Just West Virginia gets one, Saints kind of get one, and it's showing in the scoreline here. Saints do have more points as of right now, but definitely a close match to start this one off here. Meanwhile, back on the Valorant side of things, it was down to 1, but if we hop on over quickly here to Saints Academy CA, where of course the Call of Duty match is in action. Someone looking for a stranglehold, and that might actually be the opening here that the Saints need. With getting 3 quick picks like that, they can finally hold the rest of this point and maybe set up for the second, or third rather.
GMG. 13
okay.
Ooh. Oh, excited. We jinxed him. But yeah, 13-3. Definitely best performing player right now in this lobby right now. Rengar, though, with a double.
And then shut down.
But Ethan with his own double here.
Yeah, a little bit of a caster's curse going on there. But yeah, you're not kidding. 14-3 so far here for GMG. Looking for another KB. Actually got to breach on through here. And now I know this initial points here, this third point, can be rather difficult to try and breach. I know I hear Call of Duty players, coaches alike, tell me consistently that this is just an absolute pain if you don't get it initially. But at least for the Saints, they were able to get it for at least a little bit of time, hanging on for a little bit longer. And then the Saints are just absolutely tearing through when I'm looking at the Valorant side of things. That is, I think, 6 rounds just basically going unanswered. So Rowan University, they are going to take a timeout. I do not blame them in the slightest.
Personally, I would have put the timeout, especially after losing the gun round. Like, when you lose the gun round, like, you're kind of forfeiting the half almost. Like, you lose the round that you definitely have the advantage on. You then have to save again, so you lose another round. But then again, Split is very defensive-sided. So,
which is true, yeah.
If they pick up at least 3 rounds on this side, switch to defense, have a mental reset here, we could have a game on our hands. Definitely put in the driver's seat after winning a pistol and then a conversion, and then I would say the game really starts then.
Yeah, so you're saying like we break this thing to halftime and it's still like it could just absolutely like flip on its head kind of thing? Okay. As we do see up in the top left, of course, just getting started. If you do want to see the League of Legends game from start to finish, of course, Saints Gaming CA2 ! Streams will link you that in our Twitch chat, of course, if you want to see the Saints League uninterrupted. But of course, we're just catching all the best bits here, as we see, even from the opposite side here, West Virginia seem to be the ones kind of firing on all cylinders at this point, as we are just about to break the 100-point mark until GMG and KB shut one down. That is going to be GMG finally getting shut down himself by Ethan. But back and forth action, not with going like really any further than a 30-point gap.
Shiro definitely 17-8, you know. Yeah, he's not streaking as well as GMG 21-9, but he's still getting these trades. He's getting these heroic double kills, just giving them like a breather here. And like I said, West Virginia has control of the point and is going to even out this hardpoint match right now.
I mean, Cyro on the side of West Virginia is basically the GMG here for their own squad in their own right. Just broke the 20 kill mark in this one here. Euros on the side of West Virginia definitely having a little bit of a hard time, to say the least, but also has the most objective time, so it's probably the one kind of launching himself towards that point. Doesn't mind if they're the sacrificial lamb, especially if Ethan can keep refragging like this. And Cyro, again, that wipes the Saints off the board, but can they actually get to the hard point? They finally do, but a couple of seconds did end up going away basically uncontested, so no one really got any points or anything. But West Virginia now do manage to get themselves into the lead of this game. Finally contested here by the Saints. It's going to be Ranger going to find one, bouncing back and forth, does not matter. KB shuts them down, and now the Saints, they get 3 quick ones for themselves, and they at least neutralize it, bring themselves back into the lead more than likely, and going to hang on for the rest of this point.
Looks like West Virginia is just going to give up the last 10 seconds of that hard point.
Absolutely.
Just to get a better foothold on the next hard point here, and hopefully able to hold it from St. Clair's aggression.
Ooh, that angle there from GMG, though, was expecting all the rotations from West Virginia. Doesn't manage to get any value out of this, though, because right now West Virginia are collecting points, looking for his opportunity to strike. Shark in it, to say the least. And it is going to find Euro, so that's going to be the objective player gone. KB going to take care of that one. And the rest of the Saints are going to pile on through. They may have not have gotten the point initially, but they've captured it now. Can I hang on?
Siri all by herself on that point right now. But here comes Rengar. Rengar holding the staircase. We're going to get some more James Bond action here on the ladder here. Let's see if we can find it.
Missile incoming.
Finds one.
I mean, got one valuable, and it's all right. Of course, that's going to be Zero getting it. So was the top fragger on the squad, currently top fragger in the game as well. So it's fair on them to get that streak, but it just seems like while all the kills are kind of balanced between Ethan and Zero, the Saints are much more through and through, like, solid in terms of their KDAs, and is kind of winning them out in these long exchanges. Because even Siri, who's playing objective here for the Saints, is still able to find their shots majority of the time. Zero, of course, he's just absolutely killing it so far in this game, though, so fair enough dropping that one to him. But very, very close. 45 seconds left to go on this hard point. And with this one, of course, hard points going up to 250, I feel like we could have both these teams in the 200s by the time this one ends.
Absolutely. It's kind of weird watching people throw out the trophy system every time, like they spawn almost.
It's so useful, though, but what's even more useful is a godlike angle just like that there from KB to shut down anyone to try and get onto that point. And that's going to put the Saints into this 200 section. 15 seconds left to go. Should be able to bring this through to the point where if they get like half of the next hard point that they win the game. Euros is actually able to get a couple of kills for themselves, but is going to get traded out. So it's going to leave that point open, but it does not matter. It is going to flip on over. And number one there on the side, Ethan already there, milking the time, trying to score as many points as possible. But if the Saints get a good opening, that could be game.
I do got to commend West Virginia University of getting to the hard point right before it's
It was a good rotation, absolutely.
You know, they are willing to give up some extra points just to get the extra, like the better map position, the better point position, give them forcing St. Clair to do stuff like this. Shero with 2. Euros may be, you know, 11 and 24 right now, but he's the objective man. He's holding his own.
Yep.
Over 1 minute and 9 seconds on that point.
Yeah, basically any kills that the objective player gets is basically bonus. because they're the ones putting themselves in the front lines, in the hot seat, and in the worst position to try and fight back. But still able to get something, get this one going here. Saints not going to be able to win on this point as we see just consistent trading back and forth here. 2:22 now here for the Saints as this next hard point ends. Who is going to be there? Number 3, that is going to be Strike on the side of West Virginia, is going to be the first one there, but really waited before actually jumping on down onto the point itself. And Zero's just finding so many of these eliminations. 35 here in this game. This West Virginia player is absolutely nuts, but so is Siri on a double kill, holding on to the point. The 25 points left to go. It needs to be contested here by West Virginia, otherwise Saints are going to take this.
Absolutely. Shiro definitely stepping up here. 35 kills, which is absurd considering that he was down like 7 compared to like when GMG was the kill leader of this game, but now he's overtaken everyone over St. Clair.
Yeah, shout out to KB as well, breaking that 30 mark into this one. Oh, a little bit of a point blank when they're from Euros, getting the double and knocking all the Saints off the point. Ethan and Zero going to clean this one up as well. But with the points going away in 3 seconds time, they're not going to be able to fully capitalize. But can they get themselves into a position for this new one? Yes, Strike's already there. He's found 1, he's found 2. The missile's going to come down though and take him away from the point. That could have been absolutely crucial, but there is still somebody else on point. Ethan was nearby to try and hang on for just a bit of time. How do we have another missile? It's going to take care of Euros again. But KB now shut down. Saints on the point. 5 seconds left to go. Ethan is not going to find it. Siri finds 2 to clean this one up. Just another second or so. Euros can't get there. What a cleanup there for Saints Academy to score game 1.
Very, very exciting back and forth game.
Whew, that was cool.
Yes, I gotta give props to West Virginia University here. A lot of players, yeah, they made us start a little slow at the beginning, but they found their footing. They were making these hero plays. A lot of, like, the objective player was getting doubles there, here and there, but sadly, St. Clair able to cash in on the slow start, I would say, from Western University.
Yeah, and we'll definitely have to keep tabs on that as that continues on forward. As we do get to hop onto our Riot side of the broadcast, as we do have, of course, the League of Legends match is now underway here up against the University of Illinois. I'm going to quickly break on down the champions that we do see in a moment's time, but taking a look at the Valorant side of things as well, this is, and I know you said this was the defensive sided map.
My.
I didn't think it would be that much. Saints have just this entire
It's a repeat of Wednesday. Same thing. I think it was more of our academy team, though. I think that.
I think everybody was just having a good time Wednesday. But
everyone was firing on all cylinders on Wednesday.
Yeah, just absolutely brutal stuff coming out. Brutal in the best way here for our Saints over Rowan University. Just going to possibly completely shut him out, or shut them out in total here in this one.
The Astro Wall coming down there. Hopefully get the plant off here. They do get it off.
Of course, still very, very early here into this League of Legends match. And one thing that we'll notice, Ricky LaFleur going to be up there in the top lane with the Yone. That is definitely a confidence pick, to say the least there. We're going to also see, is that the Briar coming out actually? But actually, hang on a little bit. Let's not analyze while we have ourselves a little bit of a team fight. Hello, support dives on in. Nice flay. It actually allows for the Saints to get first blood. And how did the Saints all live that? That was going to be, I believe that's Alon. No, I don't know if that's Alonzo. No, that's going to be Maddie. In the jungle, somehow living. That was ridiculous.
I can't believe what I just saw. I'm gonna. Looks it's just an invade that went off, and then just somehow Vex was able to get the first blood there.
Yeah, solid job there from the support side of St. Clair. That additional flay from the Thresh knocking away the player to allow for that initial kill to go through. But one thing I also got to mention over on the other side now, on the Saints Gaming C3 stream, of course, for the Valorant action, it took all the way until the final round of attacking, but Rowan University got themselves a point on the board.
Well, you got to start somewhere, right?
Oh, absolutely.
First round's always the hardest. That's what I say in my solo queue games.
Yeah, and also kind of can snowball right here off of this pistol round. So with the Saints and
Ooh.
Instinct actually in the line of fire, they're trying to dodge on through, but there's nowhere to go. There's this utility being dumped all the way through this alleyway, and the Saints are going to be extremely worse for wear here. Seth is there, probably the next one to make contact, looks for it, takes some shots, gonna find one, but Instinct goes down. It's all up to Seth in this corner. Absolutely brutal scenario, and that is going to mean it's all up to the Cypher to try and make their way through, which is definitely going to be a tall task. Giza there coming on through, but it's probably not going to be long for this world. Sure enough.
That mid play, very, very interesting play. I've not seen that actually before. The 4-man smoke mid and shift walk up there, but that raise nade especially getting the corner and catching one of our St. Clair guys, especially in pistol rounds when if you take any damage, even if you buy armor, it's a one-shot kill with a pistol almost, and that nade was 50 damage guaranteed there.
Yeah, absolutely, and just the close quarters nature of majority of the sections in this map, right? Like, sure, the actual bomb sites themselves or the spike sites are a little bit more open, but these little corridors, these alleyways are so brutal for raises in terms of their utility. And sure enough, the Saints now going to maybe take a look towards that B site. There are members there ready to intercept with Cypher traps galore, but can they make their way through?
Well, Rowan University saying that no one's A main right now. Oh, but they see 2. But with that, it shows that there's 2 A main here. Does that force them to rotate?
Oh,
Giza.
okay.
Giza takes the head off of the raise there. Dog comes out, spots Roku, flashed out. This is where Breach comes in here. So many flashes, oh my lord. Sky flashed out, the smoke comes out, Roku's still live. Does Rowan call off the A hit? Looks like they are, looks like they're gonna rotate mid.
Considering the amount of stuff that was just dumped into that hallway, the fact that only one player went down was just an absolute miracle, to say the least here. But it does look like over on the opposite side here with our Omen there. I believe that is Seth all the way over there. Yeah, there he is, sure enough.
30 seconds left.
Spotting out the B site, seeing that it's actually kind of clear. Saints with the spike, but they're right in the middle, have not really decided as to what they want to do just yet. It is looking now, with 15 seconds to go, that they're going to maybe make their way towards that A site. And we can see Rowan University seem to be antsy. They're all moving because they don't know until now.
40k alone on his bomb site. He has to pull out a miracle here. Gets one. Sadly gets traded. Bomb goes down before time. It's a 4v3 retake. Or sorry, 3v4 retake for Rowan University.
And Saints have had plenty of time to actually get themselves into their post plant. So yes, they are outgunned, but they are in the prime positions to make this happen here. Smiley taking a look towards the high side, I do believe. No, just peek in. That's going to be Instinct now. Looking for one. It was Smiley right next to it, my bad. But Roku looks for the long shot. Not going to happen. Immediately mowed down. It is going to be traded out by Caillou, however, but it means just the 2-on-1. Wave is just stuck, and Smokes cannot decide what they want to do as a spike continues to tick on down. I don't know how you're going to be able to defuse this thing, if yet make it out alive. A little shot there to take care of Instinct, but it does not matter. The spike is going to bring the Saints to game point.
Saints finding those gaps every time. It's honestly insane how they can just hit a site. No one's watching. They show presence B with the Omen there. Shoots the Cypher util. That's the one thing that Cypher doesn't like. When his trips are destroyed or his cam, he has to sit there and watch, which kind of takes away the usefulness of Cypher. Pardon me. You know, because his whole thing is like trip here, trip there is information, and you can watch multiple things at the same time. And then also have the freedom to rotate to the other side of the map and still have your util up.
Right, and all that utility is why you'll oftentimes see scenarios like we see right here, right now with Rowan, where you kind of leave the Cypher all by himself and just kind of have them do the site themselves. But it is really susceptible to moments like this, though, and almost a huge opportunity there for the side of Rowan University. Almost found the double, but it does not matter. Saints have blasted their way, completely brute forced their way through the front door of the A site, and now a retake is all that is standing between Saints and getting game number 1 here. 3-on-3 as they move on towards A.
Roku finding that early kill with the Sharon. Gives some life into this retake here, but Caillou posted up.
Oh,
Oh! Caillou
there
gets
it goes.
Attackers
Smiley finding the double, which just left it all down to one, and there was no way you were going to avoid that crossfire. So the Saints going to take game number 1. So as of right now, the dominance from the side of the Saints Valorant squad in NACE StarLeague action will continue. Of course, not dropping a map. But now, game number 2 here for Call of Duty is now underway. Search and destroy time. Get to slow it down a little bit over the usual run and gun. Meanwhile, down on the left-hand side, of course, on Saints Gaming CA2, where you can find this uninterrupted. As we see, that's going to be Bakery Boy on the Vex, making the roam to meet Rock Boom, and I believe that's Alonzo down there, to just absolutely shred that bot lane. And it seems like there was a decent amount of action since the last time we checked in. 7-3. Looking good in terms of eliminations here for our Saints.
Sadly, I do like the Caitlyn Karma bot lane there. It's a very simple poke comp with some peel and some enchant, like with shielding and all that. Especially against, Varus is definitely a poke champ, but against a Thresh with a lot of poke champions, especially against melee engaged supports here, able to put that, since you have the range advantage, able to put that pressure, get the HP lead. You're able to take control of the lane, but sadly, that does leave you open to ganks like that, where sadly all that pressure you build up, building waves, etc., getting turret, will sadly just be flushed away after a gank, especially when you both die here. And it looks like though they're going to try to do the dragon here, finding the back timings, see if they can rush that down, hopefully get some objective as a response to
It does look the Saints are going to be in a comfortable enough position to contest, so that's going to be something going in the favor here of the University of Illinois. But one thing that is absolutely in our favor is the way the search and destroy rounds are going right here, right now. 2 in a row. A lot of times with these search and destroy games, we'll see like either the attacking side or defending side be a little bit favored, and we kind of trade 1 for 1. But not looking to be the case as of this moment. But of course, West Virginia looking to change that. Going to get themselves a first elimination here on this one.
That had to be like really fast search rounds, because I just looked at a team fight for League of Legends, and now I look back, it's 0-2.
Oh, how quickly things can swing, and oh, how quickly a Yone shows up after a teleports, because oh dear God, the poor Oriana is going to get tipped away, and even at like less than a quarter HP. That's going to be Ricky unafraid, just diving on through. And yet another one going down here, and actually ganked down to the bot lane. Maddie gonna secure that one.
Sadly, looks like bot lane losing their control there, sadly. But at least Caitlyn's able to get some farm under the wave, get some solo XP. But it's looking grim. For the opponents of St. Clair. Oh, and we're back in the COD here. Back to search and destroy. Siri, 3-2. GMG, 3-2 here. Rengar, sadly 0-2. Looks like a slow start.
Yeah, sometimes the style of game mode can throw people for a loop as well. Like, Sero seems completely unaffected, but Ranger is having a solid start with the hard point, but a little bit slower off the rat. But thankfully for them, it seems like everybody else here on the Saints going on through rather nicely. Sari getting that bomb down. And with Ethan falling pretty quickly here, Saints just got to get themselves to a safe spot and hopefully wrap up this round.
Alright, here comes the retake here. Euros gonna take first contact against Siri. He wins the gunfight. Almost goes down. Gets his heal back. Tries for a second. Gets the tag. Doesn't get the kill though. Knows where 2 are though. Goes down. It's just Sharo. Shiro, sorry. I mean, one gets traded at St. Clair with round 3.
I mean, that was definitely winnable, but you can tell how awkward of a position that was there for Sero to try and pull off that 1v2. Sure, he gave himself a little bit of cover from trying to do the low ground and fire upward. However, it just felt like he could not really move in the slightest, so his positioning was rather predictable. Good on the Saints to have a little bit of a crossfire there with the one member of the Saints pushing on forward in the end to finish the job. Going to put us up 2 here, 3-1, and
Close and
counting.
personal there with the knife kill. Give him a haircut.
Yeah, a little crossfire with a knife, apparently. But now let's see what happens here with West Virginia on the attacking side of things. Just going to immediately charge that ace site.
Shiro with the opening kill there. On game.
Not going to be able to really snowball this just yet, though, between GMG getting some good damage down and Ethan falling earlier. That is going to make things a little bit tougher to try and do. Bomb currently not planted still, in fact, is down on that A site, so they have no control of it as of this moment. Heroes, of course, the objective player on the side of WVU, wanted to make the charge, but immediately shut down.
Yeah, GMG definitely getting that second kill there. Puts St. Clair in such a winning position right now.
I swear the way these Call of Duty players move in game are trying to trigger my vertigo, but I don't know if it's just me getting old or what, but one thing that is not getting old is seeing the Saints consistently closing out these rounds. Yet another one. What looked like could have been an opportunity here for West Virginia to get themselves another one on the board after an early kill is not going to go in their favor. Saints turn this around nice and quick. GMG getting credit for that long-range assault rifle shot across the map to finish the job. But just that bomb being dropped on the A site but not actually being planted really messed things up.
It's really rough. Especially after you've used a lot of your utility to push up and get that space, and then you didn't get it, your job done, and then you have to retake that site without utility. They all know the bomb's down, right? And the defenders, they can just sit back and just wait till they come to you.
Absolutely. Saints' turn now to try and make the attack. Looking like only the one member on the B side. With how popular it seems like this A side has been, I don't mind them doing that little bit of a cheat to try and do that one. So we'll be curious, of course, if you want to catch that one. Saints Academy CA is going to have the uninterrupted Call of Duty view as we do get into a team fight immediately after the solid hook there. Going to get this engage going on. Immediately answered, though. Maddie there on the Briar going to be going down. It's going to be Ricky trying to lead the charge here on this Yone, but it is also going to be Rock Boom in the back lines, just chipping away slowly but surely. Lots of healthier health bars on the side of St. Clair after that one. Granted, only maybe 1 or 2 people did end up going down, but with it being the mid laner and the AD carry on the side of University of Illinois, still have some room to try and contest this, but with the Saints juggler down, this is still kind of nerve-wracking, actually. What are they going to end up doing? Bakery Boy, though, immediately shutting down the front line of that Aatrox. That is the Dragon going to be down. Bakery Boy finishing that one off as well, which is going to allow for the rest of the Saints to slowly make their way through and just assassinate the rest of this University of Illinois squad, getting themselves not only the Dragon, not only a shutdown, but a team wipe.
That is definitely a questionable.
That was weird.
Weird play. You lost your 2 damage, like the Orianna, your Caitlyn for damage, the Orianna ult, right? You already lost that. The dragon's already gone. You're up 2 dragons, anyways, right? That was St. Clair's first dragon, and then you go back in and you give the Graves bounty back. Oh no.
Yeah, this is going to be troublesome. Actually, Maddie might be able to get out of here. First time I'm seeing Maddie actually pick up Briar in a competitive setting. And so far, it doesn't seem to be doing too bad for us across the board. But I think more importantly, it's getting the eliminations over towards the other carries on the side of St. Clair. And the other thing I wanted to mention, I was confused as to why I did not quite necessarily recognize the support. They did tell us the starting lineups earlier, but I did not quite believe it when I first saw it. But Alonzo, Coach Alonzo, who I know for being a jungler, is actually support today on the Thresh. That is really cool and really interesting. And honestly, 2 eliminations, 9 assists. And we did see earlier just constantly using the Thresh mechanics and the flays to kind of keep the carry safe.
The fact that
Jack of all trades.
snagged the Caitlyn right off the bat.
And that
right
too,
before
absolutely,
the team
yeah.
fight. Gets her instantly down. Like, fantastic play. Fantastic play. The wards were there,
Yeah, just snowballs from there too. And like we don't really get to see, I feel like, a lot of Caitlyn Karma bot lane that we do see the University of Illinois pulling out nowadays. I see a lot more Ezreal. I see a lot more Tristana. with the way the game is played due to the amount of like J4 that we're seeing. But hopping back on over here to Saints Academy CA, where we are seeing game point here for our Saints Academy roster to try and push themselves into a match point after the fact. If they can keep this up and keep their NACE LCQ playoff dreams alive. And I was going to say, Ethan, I swear, this game gets me dizzy enough to say the least. Stop looking at the sky and spinning, mate.
He's giving a prayer, right? He's asking God for help here. So hopefully luck is on their side here. But St. Clair rushing that A site. Looks like A site is the preferred site. Oh, but Ethan gets the first kill on Rengar. Maybe it worked. Maybe the prayer worked.
Yeah, maybe, but it's going to be Ethan
I just
getting shut down. Like, you might pray, but guess what's more powerful, apparently? The commentator's curse. So that is going to take him out this time by here. But with Sayro being taken down here, it's all up to Euros, and no chance this time by here. Saints are going to take care of this one 6-2 fashion, which is now going to put them 2-0 here in this series. That NACE playoff LCQ spot is looking just that much more juicy, but we'll see if they can close it out here on control. And KB, what a final kill, getting so many in a row like that.
Absolutely. St. Clair definitely tasting that playoff position right now.
Say,
but it's not there. It's not yours yet. You still got to fight. You got one more game.
It's like when you're sitting at the kitchen table just waiting for Thanksgiving dinner. It's not quite ready yet, but you can smell it. That's basically where we're at right now for our Saints Academy roster. But hop on right back over here to Saints Gaming CA2, where, of course, this League of Legends matchup is in action. And, of course, if you want to watch any of the matches uninterrupted and without commentary, but you get to see it from start to finish, !! streams in the main channels here, Twitch chat. We'll send you the links to the appropriate streams. Of course, we're going to give you as much action from as many sources as possible, but we definitely get it. If you want one game, we aren't going to stop you there. But nonetheless, we're about 20 minutes on into this one. From what looks like a rather snowbally start there for St. Clair, has been kind of evened up a little bit. We're down on dragons, but we're up on gold, up on kills, and to be fair, a lot of these kills are in the right spots.
Yes, absolutely here. But Varus is, lethality Varus. It's definitely, yes, there's 3 items in here. Caitlyn, until she gets the Lord Dominic's, she's still going to do damage, right? But a lot of the armor values, especially on the Yone here, as well, and the HP values of the scaling here, the damage is going to drop off a bit until she completes that Lord Dominic's. But it looks like they're going to do a Baron call here. They're going to start it. Oh my god.
They are just going to fire it off. Oh, okay,
they're faking.
I was going to say, nobody down. There was the word that was interrupted, so sure there is, like, imperfect information. But went for that call with there being no vision, or nobody down. That would have been extremely rough. Meanwhile, speaking of no vision, that is going to be Maddie taking care of this dragon. But I think they might have a hunch now that this dragon is going down, and they are going to slowly chip away at this thing. The Saints are rather slow to try and respond to this. A teleport going to be coming out here. I believe this is from the side of Illinois. Try and tie this one up. Sure enough, that is going to be the Aatrox. But as this Baron starts getting lower and lower, it is dangerous. Ricky is going to find the AD carry immediately. Where did that Baron go? It is going to be going over to the side of University of Illinois. But it doesn't matter if you have Baron buff. If you're dead, that is going to be Ricky LaFleur picking up the triple. And that is just going to leave the jungler and the mid laner here on the side of University of Illinois running with their tail between their legs back to their spawn to try and stop this inhibitor from going down.
Well, they did have the read of, their jungler, St. Clair's jungler definitely, soloing the dragons. Like, maybe you can rush down this Baron, but the TPs came in, the Vex ult came in, and then just the fight, the fight just was over. Just over.
That looked like it was winnable from either side, and then Illinois just kind of got the lead in some way or another. And Alonso there on the left side as well. Good night, Clicker. Going to take him down. Going to trade out Maddie, though, actually. So a little bit of a 1-for-1. But Alonso finding his hooks, apparently, there on support as well. The little jack of all trades, regardless of which role. Apparently, he's an absolute giga chat, so good on him. Coach for a reason. Now, off to Valorant, however. A little bit of a map change up this time by. And Saints are starting on the attack.
Breeze. Reworked Breeze, at least. Old Breeze was pretty bad. I'm gonna be honest, but a lot of people also don't like this rework Breeze apparently, with the mid being removed, or one path of mid being removed, and Cave also being completely removed from the map.
Yeah, I remember this map being like a lot more open, with the exception of maybe a couple of corridors, and a lot of people just did not want to deal with it for reasons exactly like this. You can pick up your Marshal, you can pick up an op eventually later on, and just have so much control. Nice little shot actually there from the Viper on the side of Rowan University to maybe open up the frags here. Actually, Saints 3-on-4 now, so make that 2.
Yeah, I do also see both teams for Valorant team both still picking Jet even after the nerfs. I think also like Jet as the solo duelist, I think is just still good. With the one up draft, 2 smokes and the dash, because there's still a lot of like just to get on site. You definitely, especially on A site here, you gotta get into the back pyramid there, clear back pyramid, and then push up to yellow. And Jet, I've seen also Neon being flexed as well.
While you were describing that, in the left-hand side there, that was a team fight. That was not necessarily a team fight. I feel like there was 2 different things happening at opposite sides there, and the Saints managing to pull themselves ahead now, even more so after that. But my apologies. What were you saying in regards to?
I was going more on the in-depth of the Valorant champions, of like which duelist is now preferred on
Right,
Breeze
'cause
after
Jet
the
got nerfed, you said?
Yeah, Jeff got nerfed, and couple patches ago, or the same patch that Breeze basically came out.
Okay.
You know, Chamber, was his also map as well, but a lot of people are now opting in for the double controller Viper and Harbor, so you always have an execute and a smoke wall on both sides.
Makes sense.
It's basically just play fake until you find an opening. But let's talk about some more about League of Legends here. 23-13 for St. Clair for kills wise. St. Clair getting the double Mountain Dragon. This is what I was talking about. Caitlyn's, since they're stacking armor through the dragons here, Caitlyn still doesn't have her last Lord Dominic's. She's not going to be doing anything. There's no damage coming out of this Caitlyn here.
And that's definitely depressing, and especially the way these team fights have been going. Anytime Maddie seems, or if you go there on the Caitlyn, it seems like it's just immediately like fixated, just diving on through. Meanwhile, though, down in the bot lane, Ricky is no stranger to being outnumbered and still making a play. But how is this going to happen? Teleport coming on through. Bakery Boy is now here, diving on through. Ricky doing a ton of damage, gets the one, looking for the other one. He's going to back his way up, but he has backup now. Maddie and Alonzo are also here alongside Bakery Boy. And sure enough, Refugo, the only thing that he consistently is doing other than an occasional auto attack is basically being one of the first ones deleted in these fights, unfortunately for them. And that is going to mean 3 members down nice and quick here from the University of Illinois, and maybe a couple towers in the future.
Very chaotic there. I honestly thought Ricky, well, I think it was Ricky, right, that got engaged on there. I thought he was dead. I honestly thought it was a 4v1. I saw the TPs came in. They couldn't kill him fast enough. The Vexar again comes out and just blows the fight away into St. Clair's favor.
It was absolutely perfect timing there, and I can tell that's it's one of your first casts watching our league squad, because for whatever reason, at least personally, anytime I see Ricky go in a 1v2 or like a 1v4, for whatever reason, I still feel like he's going to get a kill or two, just from some of the ridiculous stuff we have seen him done in the past. But of course, you're completely correct there with it looking like he should have been dead. And to be fair, he did actually get caught up pretty good there. But Bakery Boy being there with the Vex ult was a massive save, like you said.
It's the average top lane mindset of 1v5. Run it down top lane. It's an island.
Yo, what are you doing, guys? I'm 1v9 in here. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Get the objective, guys, please.
Yeah, let me continue to split push top lane while you do everything. I feel like we've been scarred way too many times.
Absolutely. As a top lane main before, yeah. It just kind of goes with the champions you play. That's how it feels.
Man.
Oh, but the hook again. Oh, but Varus misses the Q, doesn't get the kill. Aatrox just jumping on Brayer there. Caitlyn with the shutdown.
Okay, of all the people to go to, the Caitlyn definitely needed it. Prior to that team fight happening, she did pop the ace in the hole, and it basically it looked like it healed the Saints compared, but I know that's due to the shielding there from
Yes.
Alonso and whatnot. But with the one initial pick, and that was on the jungler as well, so there's no smite for this. This could be the opportunity for University of Illinois to try and turn this one around. They may be about
They
5K.
gotta rush down this Baron here.
and
They have to secure it.
God.
No.
Left alone in the pit
Okay, they
with
get it.
Ricky, but that is going to be University of Illinois secure this one
Can they
as the
get
team
out
fight goes through.
alive?
Go for it.
Oh, there's the Q. He was saving the Q from the last fight, just to save it, just to send that Caitlyn back to the fountain there. She has shutdown gold, so I consider it a fast back in my books, but
Oh, poor Refugo. No matter the fight, seems to be the wrong side of a hook or an arrow or something. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they're on the wrong side of a knife. Never mind. So it is going to be shut down at the last possible second there. That is going to be Instinct getting the final blow on that one. Looking like our Saints off to a rather nice start. Definitely nowhere near as dominant as the split game we had seen before, but taking the lead nonetheless, and probably sitting pretty to go into these next couple rounds.
now I'm not sure rework Breeze was either attack side or defense side. It's been a while, and also with the new changes, but a lot of pressure now is on mid here. The fact that attackers can jump up now, threat NAS much easier and safer
Okay.
now, and then opens up another opening to take A site. Because the problem while taking A site on Breeze here is you all coming out one choke, right? A Viper, a Chamber with an op holding you down can spell disaster if you don't play as a team, if you don't flash out, time your smokes out. But we see a Viper Pit here fighting for, is that A main control? Yes, A main control here.
At the same time, over on the left-hand side, we do see Bakery Boy did just absolutely nuke the support line there from side of Illinois. It's going to allow the Saints to hit the go button. They may be working up against a Baron buff, but they have the numbers, and they have the 80 carry isolated. But a good shot, good timing here. The double going to come out here from Refugo, fighting back and getting themselves back into this game. But the Saints overall are still going to, I believe, take this in a 3-2 fashion in this team fight, which may at least allow them to push a little bit towards the turrets. But with there being no objectives really happening, it could probably be stopped here.
I do see an item mistake from Illinois here. Caitlyn is not going Lord Dominic's, even though St. Clair has 3 Mountain Drakes.
Okay, imagining that I don't know nothing, explain to me what that means.
So, since they have 3 Mountain Drakes, and it's Mountain Soul this game here, each Drake gives them, I think it's 6% of their maximum armor and magic resist. And that each Drake, that's an extra 6%. So they're getting a lot more resistances. And if they get they get the St. Clair in the driver's seat, so it looks like they're definitely going to win over the battle, the map control for the Soul Drake here. They will then get an extra shield. It's going to get to the point where Caitlyn, she can throw out her abilities. It won't even get through the Soul Shield here. Which,
might have to continue this in just a quick moment here, as this could be the decider. What looked like initially being Ricky getting picked off did turn into a little bit of a team fight. 3 kills again going over in the Saints' favor, only the 1. Ricky not going to be afraid to drop his life for that. But now, you were just talking about Mountain Drakes. We have yet another one. So this would be 4 in the pocket of St. Clair, plus the Soul if they can secure this one. The jungler is there, though. It could be contested, but there's so much CC that you have to try and fight through to get this. And the Saints look like they are stopping the Dragon pressure. They don't want any chance of this going on forward. Cages goes down. That's Dragon number 4. That's the Brown Drake, Mountain Drake number 4. And this is not only a heavy DPS squad, but this is now a tanky squad.
they are, they have everything. Healing, all in, assassinate, damage, they have CC. I'm gonna say it now. St. Clair definitely takes this game away here. I don't see a chance for Illinois to come back here unless St. Clair decides to split up here. They find like 2 picks maybe on the Varus or the Vex here. But still, Yone, Mountain Drake, Soul, Kraken Slayer, Hull Breaker. You're gonna need 3 people to kill this guy. And that's just their top laner alone.
Yeah, the one thing when I was looking at this initial composition from the Saints that I was worried about is like, okay, who's tanking? Is it just Alonso? But I mean, with the way this game's kind of shaped out, it almost doesn't even matter because everyone's just getting so much additional built-in armor. But if they do get caught like this, it doesn't matter how much armor you have if they can just 5-on-1 ya.
Sadly, there goes the Aatrox ult there. That won't be up for another 45 seconds. And here's another hook. Here's, oh, sorry. That's the fight. Oh, it's a second hook as well. The cleanse comes out. Vex on top of the Caitlyn, and it's just a gray screen for that Caitlyn right now.
Gray screens for all. Maddie diving on forward, charging on through, gets so low, doesn't matter because you can heal it all back. Does get shut down actually. Aatrox does come back right in the nick of time, but it doesn't matter when it's just the two of you versus 3 to 4 Saints, and you have less than half your health bar. Ricky doesn't even care at this point, just sees the objective, goes for it, knows that there is absolutely nothing that the University of Illinois can do to stop this one. They're going to get back to base, but it doesn't matter if they don't have a base to really come back to. One final Hail Mary play there from the top laner on the side of Illinois, and it's not going to matter. Immediately popped, and pop goes the Nexus here. Saints going to take game 1.
Well, it was definitely exciting at the end there. The Thresh hooks, landing, getting those early picks right off the bat to just take away Illinois' chances of winning that thing, or any fight in that game as well. But here we go, back into Call of Duty. St. Clair up 1.
Yeah, match point time now.
Yes.
Essentially here, if the Saints can continue their role, getting the one initial rounds before we get on into the swing of things. But let's see, West Virginia looking to try and bring this one back. One of the points already captured in this instance. And that A spot, to be fair, was extremely close to being captured. And they still have people on it to this moment. So this could go right back 1-1 unless somebody has some sort of answer. So plenty of lives on the table. But it does look like it's just going more and more on the table with Virginia. Sure enough, that will do it. So gonna bring this one to 1-1. Then when we take a look real quick at the Valorant side of things, of course, happening on Saints Gaming CA3, Rowan University keeping much closer pace this time by. I know I mentioned it before, but hey, this is at least no 11-1 kind of scenario. Already got 3 on the board, and Breeze maybe working a little bit better for them.
Definitely. I do like to see, as I was talking about earlier, St. Clair opting for the Harbor and Viper on Breeze here. I definitely think here St. Clair is definitely going to win the attack side half, just how the team is. But it's also going to be very annoying for Rowan on defense here, because, on attack, because there's going to be a Harbor wall. Go to the other side, there's going to be a Viper orb. Retake, there's another wall. It's going to be just a rough, just trying to take sites, and then also St. Clair definitely has the utility to definitely make the retake of the sites very easy.
Never mind double shields. I guess we're just going to have like double, triple screens apparently, as we do see the Viper on the side of St. Clair does end up going down in that instance. So still rather even-ish. Saints with a little bit of a player advantage for the time being. But over on the Call of Duty side, of course, his control is still going underway. And it seems like whoever's been on the attacking side of things is having maybe a little bit better of a time in terms of securing these ones. And KB specifically, as well as Siri, looking like they're popping off in regards to KDAs on this side. Ethan as well on the side of West Virginia. And it does seem Saints picked themselves up one more on top of that for the Valorant side.
Yes, West Virginia definitely showing some life here on this map right now. Not letting St. Clair bulldoze through them as they did on definitely the search map here. Let's see if St. Clair can change it up here. 12-6 on Siri, but sadly Rengar 3-11, not looking too hot. Let's hopefully he changes up. Ethan getting that kill. He goes get straight to
Sends them
GNG.
back for the moment's time, but that does allow for the Saints to find 2 more, maybe get some bodies on points here, but good on Euros to immediately shut that one down. Maybe overstep his welcome, however. KB seems to be perched up nicely, finds 3 of them with Ethan going down. This is going to make it halfway. Can they get it to that 3rd tick to give themselves some leeway? They absolutely are going to be able to. So this point right on the verge of getting picked up here from this B site, and sure enough, that will be it there. So 2-1 now, Saints favor. They need 1 more, regardless if it's attack or defense. They will be taking this game if they keep it up, but not done just yet.
St. Clair closer than ever to getting that was it last chance
The LCQ
qualifier
spot.
Yeah, the LCQ spot for playoffs. They can taste it, blood. They taste the blood. They smell the blood in the water. That's the saying.
Absolutely. Yeah, they may not have necessarily gotten the 1st place position to secure themselves into the playoffs immediately, but of course, if they do take this next one here on this control map, that does put them at guaranteed, I believe, in either 2nd or 3rd, so they get to play one more time, I believe, later on next week. See if they do make it into those playoffs. As we do take a look quickly at the Valorant side of things as well. Quick double, just going to kind of get the Saints snowballing here. Just the artillery, not the artillery, but the weapon area on the side of Saints just looks that much better as we continue to watch the Saints try their damnedest here on this control point, see if they can close this out.
Yeah. St. Clair on the Valorant side here. This is where the Harbor comes in, able just to push sites so easily. You have a wall, you have a Viper wall. You also have. Whew,
Okay.
nice shots out of Rowan University. I can't see the player's name right now, but very clean, but
Yeah.
sadly not the round.
Fighting with 2 sheriff shots like that, getting a little bit of value at the very least, as halftime is about to switch on that side. But there's a chance that this is about to end here on the side of this Call of Duty game. The 1 point here has been captured by West Virginia University. It's just a matter of getting this B site. But as we can see, the Saints roster, the Academy roster, just basically trying to find as many angles on that B site as possible to shut it down. But it's been basically stopped to start things off. We'll see in just a second how that one finishes up here, but on the side of Valorant, right before the half, let's see if they can score 1 more on the board.
Looking to put pressure A main here, force some retakes. They're Rowan University's Jet staring down mid though, keeping that control, forcing the defense not to over-rotate, which is giving Seth some little problems here, but. Well, the Harbor wall comes out. Looks like they're coming out. Jet dashes onto site. Harbor ult coming out. Let's hope Jet's able to find the Harbor back site. Harbor putting up the wall here. Concussed again, but he's still alive. Steph finds 1 though on B site.
Gosh, there's just so much to try and go through here. So many smokes, so many screens. We can see the Saints just kind of opting towards the openings, but just try and give themselves a little bit of room to breathe. And wow, the smoke actually interferes just enough, but a good ultimate actually here. The Blade going to take care of Caillou. Immediately shut down though. Back and forth, 3-2, 2-2 now. Giza getting on the board as well. Can the Saints find themselves at 9-3 and summon the 9-3 curse? Let's hope not, but it is going to be the Saints with 1 left, but they do get the plant.
Harbor using that wall, trying to find an isolated 1v1 just to put it into a 1v1 post plant where Harbor will take the advantage there. But L-Wave.
Oh, got him. In just a moment's time, it can absolutely flip. And honestly, good on them to skip this one to 8-4. 1, yay, no 9-3 curse. And actually, looking at Call of Duty here on the Academy side of things, I'm seeing final round here. So did it all of a sudden become West Virginia fighting themselves back into this one? Sure enough, they did get that last one. So it is game 3 and possibly the match all down here to this round number 5. Going to be absolutely crazy.
All the pressure right now on West Virginia right now. This is where we get to see the difference between the players here. Euros, sorry. Oh, 2 picks right off the bat. They're firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, that is the exact kind of start they wanted. And one thing to note, it did seem like the attacking side had all the points in this matchup, and West Virginia must have got enough eliminations more than the Saints to get themselves, or actually reverse that, I think. St. Clair got more eliminations, and yet they got defending side. I know there's some sort of tiebreaker there for whatever reason. It's just kind of boggling my mind for a moment. But attacking is basically won every single side as of right now, and West Virginia has the attacking side. So we might see this game may not be over yet, but Saints are obviously, of course, going to fire on all cylinders to try and get themselves back into this one. A little bit of a lives deficit to start this one off, though.
Yes, Euro's definitely coming in hot in this round, getting those early picks, winning those ones, able them just to win space to keep these points into their control here.
Woo!
Woo!
Yeah, good little jump shot, I guess, to take care of it, but it helps when you got back up as well. This point is a little bit rough to try and deal with, but the Saints are able to at least keep it off for the time being. 8 points still. Just getting contested over and over and over again, but that B point already being down does put the Saints defense in all of the pressure. Their game to lose as of this moment, but they're on the outside looking in. This is a little tough.
Siri on a 5 killing streak right now. KB though getting a quick double as well. We could see some streaks come out here.
I think I hear a missile coming on through or something in just a moment's time. Might have hit a rooftop or might still be going through. We'll see in just a moment's time. I think it did not get anybody this time by, so a little bit of a sigh of relief for, I believe, the side of West Virginia not to get caught. The lives have been evened out, though. 17-16. Another win condition here for the Saints. If they can hang on, they have 2 conditions here. Live 45 seconds or deplete the lives. But if the way that this game is going, I think time will be the first factor. So now it's actually all in West Virginia's pocket to try and get themselves there. That's going to be 2 from KB to hold on tight for just a second. Ranger going to take care of it and get onto the point, stops them in their tracks. They have maybe 1 or 2 pushes left here.
28 seconds left in this match right now. Could go either way.
Definitely a nerve-wracking situation. If I'm nervous on the commentary desk, I can only imagine how they are in the player seats, but at least we know those seats are comfy. But with KB, though, finding 2 in Siri immediately, going to at least get the trade here. So KB getting the 3 quick ones. It's down to the last couple seconds here. The Saints just have to stop them from touching the point at all. Gonna tick on down, and the Saints, they needed a good defense, and they're gonna get it. And they're gonna get themselves into that NACE STARLEAGUE LCQ as a 2nd or 3rd seed after a very, very hard-fought 3rd game.
Absolutely. I was a little worried for them at the beginning there, having West Virginia just show up early, getting those points, that first point very easily. But then St. Clair was able to come back, group up, and then Siri with a hero performance there.
Okay, that was an interesting little standoff there. The smoke dropped, and 2 players just immediately beamed each other with those shares. Beautifully done. Giza going to get traded out again here. Of course, we did just cross the halfway points here in this game number 2. Saints looking to clean this up nice and quick. Instinct, though, with a nice little snipe, finds one. But you're the last one between 2. And you have a sniper, this is definitely going to be tough. Oh, some COD timing. Looks for the no-scope. Not going to happen. Respect the attempt, though. But it is going to be Rowan University taking this one.
Some nice shots out of St. Clair there. Take some guns out of Rowan University's hands there. But yeah, it's some unfortunate timing. He was dialed in on that angle. He knows he's there, not peeking you, so you're probably expecting a peek from the backside or whatever.
And of course, as soon as he moves.
The sooner you do it, he peeks, yeah. It's unlucky timing. But looks like they're Rowan University looking for a B take here, or at least some B pressure. But that's also where the Cypher's set up. This could get a little awkward, especially with all the smokes going around. Cypher doesn't care about smokes.
Right, you get hit by the wire, your position's revealed through the smoke, if I recall correctly. So, yes, the Cypher is there, but it does have backup as well through the smoke. Headshot takes care of the Viper. Low wave going to be taken out pretty well immediately. So Rowan now looking to fight this one on the penalty kill of sorts here with the player down.
Definitely unfortunate that it was the Viper that gets caught. That's
kind of brutal. Yeah.
Here comes Smiley, shifting the backside. Ooh.
Wait
he
for
knows.
It. Oh, gosh.
Oh, Smiley fighting for his life, but goes down. Seth, though, in the same spot here. Giza and Kaya definitely getting
One
kills on their
enemy
own.
remaining.
2v1. They saw him. They know where he is. Goes down, and that's a fantastic retake out of the St. Clair there.
Yeah, that will do it. The initial retake didn't necessarily go in their favor, but the second time around there, managed to do it and were able to secure it after finding a little bit of a pinch, a little bit of a crossfire on that Spike's location. Taking care of it, so now 9-6 in the favor of St. Clair. Slowly but surely, maybe taking a little bit of a snowball approach here with the way these first early rounds of the half are going. But it just takes one. It just takes one round for the side of Rowan University. They're already doing better. We'll get to see how this one ends up going.
I do like St. Clair's thing with the Viper, putting down the wall on B there. Good for a retake. It's a good retake wall, good stall wall as well. Because all you need is just your orb for a main
right.
just to hold it off.
That's fair enough, yeah. That B site is a very, very large site, so that big lineup, that big acid screen or whatever you want to call it, would definitely be disruptive. Some positions shown, but not necessarily going to commit as of this moment. Instinct going to find one, but otherwise a quiet start to this round.
It's kind of unfortunate that Jet accidentally, well, I don't know accidentally, but used the dash there, I guess, trying to find an early kill. Especially, it would be disastrous for St. Clair if the Viper instantly went down for the first beak contact here. But here we go. Staff holding that corner.
Yeah, looking.
Misses the shot, falls back. The comms go out. There's the Cypher ult. Pings one more time. Oh!
Through the smoke does not matter. The Saints are falling, but this does manage to now be a 3-on-3. The early picks from Instinct were good, but it's just going to keep things even. A little bit of a firefight. That's going to be Flash finding 3, looking for the 4th, but it is going to be all up to Harbor on the side of St. Clair. Smiley is not going to be able to secure that one. Roku going to secure the round here for Rowan and keeping this within 2.
Very good A take from Rowan University there. Especially also lucky shots to the smoke there. That was...
Hey, sometimes I'd rather be lucky than good.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes you're going to need those rounds, especially in a best of 3 game, right? You need those strokes of luck. You need those... Like, you have skill all you want, but sometimes it's just you're unlucky. You get those timings, right? Fortune's on Rowan's side, at least for this half.
Or if I was Roku in that situation with the Rowan University player, I would say that's completely calculated. I knew he was going to be there. Absolutely. Like, next level. Don't... Like, my PC's perfectly fine. I'm just that correct, you know. But, of course, within 2, that is going to be the ult getting pops there from St. Clair's Jet this time by. So knives be flying in a moment's time.
Rowan University definitely heard 3 footsteps rotating out of A and shift walking up A main here. St. Clair thinking that it was going to be a B take since they didn't show any presence A main here, but...
Yeah, everybody's antsy.
3 A main, shifting up. Sky sees 3. Just a Sheriff, though.
Yeah. Okay, but Instinct and Smiley, though, are going to be able to at least take a few off from a flank from behind. And Caillou, it may only be a Sheriff, but that's all he needs, apparently, is going to be able to hold a site essentially by himself with 8 health and a dream. He takes their gun. He takes their life. They take the round. What a turnaround.
It's always fun watching Caillou. As St. Clair's kill leader right now, he's just so good mechanically. He finds his angles. He finds the best angle. He trades. He flashes. He's also a team player. It's just a breath of fresh air. A breath of fresh air watching him play this game.
Absolutely. I did not expect that round to go anywhere near that way.
I thought the round was done.
You tell me that you're one player with only a Sheriff defending that site by yourself. I think you maybe trade 1 kill, but I don't think you're stopping that push, let alone cleaning up the rounds after that. So beautifully done from Caillou and the Saints.
Definitely, for mental-wise for Rowan University, that is a devastating round to lose there.
Absolutely.
Especially as it's 7-10 right now.
Yeah, this game getting closer and closer to completion here. Caillou once again diving on through, takes care of 2 by himself. through the door does not matter. Just manages to secure it. And now 3 on 5 left. Saints in prime position, with Rowan University kind of stuck going back towards the drawing board, and they might be thinking towards that A site.
Like, what else do they have? They know the Cypher util and the Viper is on B here. Like, all the Sol utils on B. St. Clair also just posting up a mid. They trust Caillou. Oh, also there's the Jet on site too. So the only 3 left. They can hold all parts of the map. They can double up, so you can trade out here. And the op holding the line there. Nothing. It's the freest kill of your life as an opper, especially if there's no flashers.
My goodness, that was close, but they are going to run right into Caillou, who casually just picks up number 3 and casually picks up a 4K. Flawless, beautiful, and a 4K. And Saints now are starting to kind of, if they're not necessarily economy-wise running away with this, morale and mentally, they are absolutely running away with this.
They're running. They're hot, so hot right now. They're running. They're winning their ones, especially Caillou doing some eco heroics. But right now, it is a make or break for Rowan University economy-wise here. They just had to save last round. They're going to get their full buy here. They need this round. If they don't get this round, they're forced again on an eco, or at least a half buy. And for how big this map is, you need to have those Vandals, you need to have those Operators or Guardians, just because a Spectre's just not going to cut it.
Absolutely. An Instinct immediately going to shut one down. Up already finding value and just immediately taking someone off the board.
Looks like Rowan University gonna... Oh, jeez. Takes the head off of the Viper there. Roku trying to get that gun back, but they know someone else is there. Oh!
Okay, Sheriff shot.
Kills Caillou with the Sheriff there. Doubling up back to mid here. Hopefully they can get more, get the guns here. The flash comes out here.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Not quite the ender that we were thinking. 2D4K is going to hang on by a thread, but he's going to have up to 2 Saints coming on through. Finds one, but cannot deal with the shorty.
What's with the sheriffs this game? Like, everyone is just turning into Clint Eastwood.
Apparently, I can hear the tumbleweeds rolling from here.
And here's the timeout, though.
Honestly, yep, better late than never. As we do see, spectator delay is now just underway here for the League of Legends match. It's going to be happening, of course, over on Saints Gaming CA2. If you do want to see that from start to finish, of course, make sure that you join us there. But what are you spotting?
I see another Briar.
Yes, we do. Maddie going to be picking it up for the 2nd game in a row, which is interesting.
Guessing a lot of players have gone out of the honeymoon phase of perma-banning new champions and actually learning how to play and counterplay against them now.
Maybe in competitive, but maybe not in my solo queue games.
Oh,
though.
absolutely
But
not.
interesting to say the least, though, because I feel like from what I've seen, because we even got to see some Briar yesterday in the Academy Teams League of Legends match, and it felt like the game just kind of went one of 2 ways. It was either the Briar did get ahead and snowballed and was an absolute demon to deal with, or they just did not get going and they were completely useless the entire game. One thing, though, that does get me kind of interesting looking at the draft, this is probably the first Vayne I've seen in any sort of competitive setting in like 2 years.
Yes, I'm surprised Vayne has not made more of a presence, especially with, well, the item reworks and also with the Gwynsu's buff and rework and all that stuff. She is a very good, especially in controlled team play, especially when you're not going to get those like 20-minute games as hot, like as much as like you do in your solo queue games here.
Right.
So the longer the games go on, the more value from Vayne's kit is able to express. But here we are back at, for Valorant here, 7-12, do or die for Rowan University right now. Roku pushing up into B tunnel here.
Yeah, the start of this round did not go in the favor of Rowan University in the slightest, and I think this is just going to make things that much more difficult. Actually, no, that's from the side of Rowan University. So they do with the Viper Pit down on this B side. They could try to get something going, but immediately, okay, and actually very, very nice.
With the trip.
Care. Yeah, that's going to make things extremely difficult. Roku though, finds 3. 2
Is
on
that
2
3
now.
or 2?
One enemy remaining.
I'm not sure, but all I know is there's one left, and it's Giza. Can he win the rounds right here, right now? He's got to fight through a Viper Pit to do it. But actually, Wave, the spike's not even anywhere near B site, I just realized. And Giza is going to catch them making the move. And the Saints are going to 2-0 this one after a rather decisive game number 1. A well-fought game 2 there from Rowan University.
Absolutely.
But brutal.
It is heartbreaking. You don't think the Cypher is, like, especially when he's set up on site for B site main there. It's definitely weird to have the Cypher to be playing mid instead of back site holding the site. So I'm pretty sure the call was to get the picks back, playing the, I just threw my thought there for a second. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the play there was to get the kills mid, Roku definitely getting that double there, and then definitely quick rotate to A there.
Man, that was just absolute heartbreaking there for Rowan University, because especially for the Viper in that scenario, you get your pit down. I feel like if you had the spike with you, you at least had a chance at that point, right?
Yeah.
But something happened early.
There had to be a call saying like Cypher backside or something. Probably one of those calls there, or they were just trying to get the trades. Roku definitely coming in there mid and just killing two, and then opening up the map. But usually that's why you kind of want your either controller or sentinel to be your spike carriers, so you're able to, take site. Usually the site controllers and the sentinels will take the main control, slowly,
Right.
while your duelist initiators will take ground somewhere else, like mid, to open up another opening into a site there. You're able to pinch for twice, and then usually, able to plant, go back to your post plant, and then that's usually how teams would like to set up. But Valorant is a game of, it's not always about utility. Sometimes it's just, can you shoot your enemies in the head?
No, absolutely. And the Saints are going to be able to continue that dominance, it looks like, in the NACE Star League for Valorant-wise anyway. But we are going to get into game number 2 here. Of course, St. Clair is currently up 1 in this series. And we are going to have Ricky back up in the top lane. Looks like Maddie in the jungle. Zephyrat is actually making the substitution in there for Bakery Boy. Going to be picking up the Silas this time by Rock Boom, picking up a more traditional ADC. I feel like for the meta, going to be picking up the Ezreal. And then Alonso is going to trade the hook for some bubbles, it looks like, as it's going to be the Nami this time by.
I do like to say a Jarvan top. I've not seen that in a long time. I've not been up to date with pro play, but I thought Jarvan was a jungler nowadays, at least. But
9 times out of 10, you're correct. But I don't know what it is about this patch, but I've seen so many early picked jungler, or not junglers, but early picked Jarvans, and using them as a flex pick. Just can bleed over to the mid lane, can bleed over to the top lane. Just that good right now, apparently.
it is going to be a very difficult lane, definitely, to win as a Jarvan. Renekton definitely out-trades, has the damage. Jarvan definitely has the passive, so he's more of a poke, just trying to stay alive, trying to get his items, and then probably playing more around team fights here. Looks like we get another pause here, but oh, we're back playing again here. Silas and Ori mid. Kind of awkward for the Silas there because the range advantage for the Orianna. Silas does need to control that wave a bit more, clear the wave before he's able to engage on the Orianna. But team fight wise, if Silas is able to steal the Orianna ult, could be very strong, especially with Cataclysm and Brer and Ezreal and Nami. They're getting a good combo there. But good thing for, this is the one thing I do like teams doing for, teams drafting here. A lot of teams don't designate a full dedicated tank here. We do get the Maokai the jungle. He doesn't need to be in a side lane, absorbing gold, XP, getting gold. You can give it to your Renekton. You can give it to your Orianna with TP. Renekton getting a bit off a little too much than you can chew. First blood goes onto the Jarvan as well.
Basically uncontested. That's one way to do it. But to kind of follow up with what you were talking about as well with the Maokai and whatnot, of course, mainly just like the biggest supporter, like best friend you could have there in the jungle. Been seeing a ton of Maokai and pro play as well. Even just, I think last night I saw one of the pro matches. They want to have a Maokai so bad that they'll straight up keep it in support.
Yes.
Just to make sure, just because that ultimate is just so good, and all the CC that he has is so good. And they actually, I feel like they paired it up with like a Senna too, so they were actually giving it farm and whatnot as well. So
Yeah, no,
that was interesting.
Maokai especially strong, especially in like bot lane where a lot of ADCs don't have an escape tool a lot of
Yeah.
the times, right? And it's a point and click CC. So
Yeah.
like the counterplay is you have to play more of the range. You know, you have to invest for like Caitlyn's, Zaya's, definitely a poke lane there just to shut him down. But he also has the saplings to keep vision and control of the bushes. So playing against a Maokai, it's just like there's so many things you got to keep up with.
Extremely tough to deal with. Now, of course, if you're just joining us here on Saints Game, we're about at the halfway point, maybe a little bit further, because on the Valorant side of things, of course, their Valorant squad did just go 2-0 in their NACE StarLeague matchup, continuing their dominance. And then, if you're looking for our Academy Call of Duty team for their NACE match, well, they also managed to score themselves the 3-0, securing themselves that LCQ position. So far, a good day here for the Saints as we have a team fight. Alonzo might be in trouble.
That long range Maokai snare there. Can Vayne get it? She
There it
gets
is.
the kill. That's 300 gold on your late game carry. Very good start from St. Clair here. They're able to come back, equalize the gold difference here. Only by, like, St. Clair's only down like 100 gold, which is not a lot. Usually it'll just dissipate in the mid game when people start grouping, team fights, objective stuff like that, and people getting back in their side lanes, and that's where you really see the gold and XP start to ramp up.
Yeah, one thing I kind of baited, of course, they did end up switching sides here going into game 2 there. So with Alonso going down, unfortunately, just having the Nami, you don't have as much tankiness as that Thresh did from the last game, right? So, not Refuge, I can't quite remember the tag off the top of my head. It's right there. But from going and being one of the first ones taken down in the team fights over and over again in the last game, to be able to take that Vayne that was losing and to bring it close or get a kill was really, really good. And Ricky just going to find the solo kill on top lane 101 and maybe force him to take his own class a little bit.
Sadly, he didn't keep up with the XP. Jarvan, since he got the first kill, and TP,
True.
able to hit 6 and gets that nice animation cancel there. A lot of damage going out. I'm glad that Jarvan was able to see the opportunity and pull the trigger on that, right? I've seen a lot of people, they'll get the 6 and they won't go for it for some reason, right? It's like that's a good 30-second window where you have advantage over your laner. You gotta find those openings. You gotta abuse those openings.
Absolutely. If you know at least the jungler's not there to counter gank you, if you know that you have that opportunity, that is like a free opportunity for some aggression. As the Saints continue to duke it out down on the bottom side, that is actually going to allow for Maddie, and it looked like is backed up by Zephyrat as well, to sneak that dragon nice and quick. Cloud Drake in the pocket. Gonna keep the Saints basically just that 100 gold ahead. This is definitely no major leads so far. Pretty well even. If one lane is down, that same team has the lead somewhere else, to say the least.
Well, we can look at the bot lane right now. We look at creep score right now. Vayne is falling a bit behind, but that's normal, especially into a poke lane against Ezreal, right? Vayne doesn't really need kills in lane, right? It's better to play safe, scale up, get your items. You don't have to fight for early drakes. I see a lot of teams that will have a good late game scaling comp and just throw away so many games just going for a dumb Rift Herald, a dumb dragon. Like, for instance, like if Illinois went and tried to contest that dragon there and just throw it. Oh,
hang on,
fight mid here.
It's like here, Zephyrat was looking for blood and managed to dive into a 2-on-3. Ricky was there for backup, but did not expect 2 more. And the Saints are going to get it absolutely flipped on their head. But the slightest of good things, I guess, was that both kills went to the support.
That is true. Not the best way to distribute gold. You know, support doesn't really need items. Just really needs to get their support item, get their wards up, and get the vision out. But devastating for St. Clair. Illinois here will get the Baron. Renekton gets to shove the wave in, so Jarvan does lose a whole wave here.
Yeah, all these
turret
gone.
plating as well. Renekton coming back into this game here, gold-wise.
I mean, with the support gone from that bot lane, though, it did allow for the bot lane of Saints to go in there. And
Ooh.
actually, hang on a second. We're just going to go berserk. We're diving on in. Maddie is going to find one. Actually, it's going to be Ricky picking up that one. And Ricky not going to let you go anywhere. And you are stuck in here with me. Top lane 101 on the Renekton is trying to be as beefy as
They're
possible.
going to
Yes,
dive it. They're going to dive him.
they're absolutely going to dive it. And they are going to be able to secure 2 kills in their favor after just not having enough damage to really get that Rift Herald quickly. And can they find themselves a third because they left the support alone? They are absolutely going to be able to shut down from the support.
Vayne
Going
jumping
on
in,
over.
though.
This could be trouble, though. Rock Boom, watch out for the silver bolts. It's going to be right there. Fugo taking care of Rock Boom. There is bloodshed everywhere across the Rift here. And when it seems like one team has the advantage, it's basically traded right out to the point where we're still within 100 gold lead, if that.
I swear, with all the action, I thought we were watching Call of Duty. Like, oh my lord,
It's-
things
that's
going
what-
fight after fight.
And
catch
we're
after
still
catch.
going here in the river, caught out. That is going to be Zephyros. Was looking for the support, maybe try to harass them as they were trying to get the scuttle. But guess what? There's 3 more where that came from. And unfortunately for Zephyros, that's going to be death number 2 on the game.
3 kills on the Vayne now.
Uh-oh.
This is not looking good. Vayne definitely has been gold-wise accelerated to a point where she might reach late game stage a lot quicker than St. Clair's ready for.
100%.
But the thing is, with their team comp, they do have the Renata ultimate in case one of her, especially Vayne, will get
True.
like 5 won't die, right? Problem is, there's a Briar, a Jarvan, and a Silas. There's gonna be 3 people on her all the time in team fights here. So I don't know how. Like, there's not a lot of peel for this Vayne here. That's I
Right.
would say the only.
Wow.
Oh my lord.
Right back into the mid lane we go as you're discussing
Oh.
that, and they have the little extra. No, Maddie is going to actually get the kill here, so a bit of a 1-for-1. But again, it seems like the Saints' game plan for finding these like 2-on-1 picks are being immediately answered by 2 players on the side of University of Illinois, and making it so that they're basically diving into their own brick wall. And could be troublesome here as you're saying that Vayne is getting stronger and stronger. And I like the adjustment coming out here from the University of Illinois. Yes, the Saints are going to have a bunch of people to make Refugo's life extremely difficult. But if you have all these characters that are here to try and stop you, it doesn't matter. But it's a big damage coming through. The Vayne is at next to 1 HP, I think.
She's all by herself.
Immediately taken down, and that is going to shred them through, and that's a shutdown onto the Briar. If you need someone to snowball, that may be your guy. Maddie going to get that 1-3 in the pocket there for the Saints. And just like that, right when we thought that Illinois had themselves a solid, not easy, but a very, very notable win condition, that can make things even more
I
troublesome.
feel we're gonna see a lot more of that of Vayne.
100%.
Just so much she can do. You only can hit 1 target, right? I don't think you want to be buying Runaan's Hurricane to hit multiple targets off of you. I don't think that's the buy right now, at least the buy meta for Vayne. But Vayne just needs, like, just delay. That's what the Maokai is there for, right? The Maokai does have some peel, able to disengage from fights as well, or just stall them out to where Vayne's able to ramp up the Rage Blade and just start getting those silver bolts off here. And Illinois here gets the Hextech Dragon here, which is pretty good for Vayne as well.
And it looks like we got the Chem Drake, or the Chem Soul, whatever you want to call it, as the soul for this game too. So something a little bit different, to say the least. Rift Herald was also picked up there by the University of Illinois. So they got the Dragon, they have the Rift Herald, they have themselves some decent rotations and decent macro play. As we start off here, Shelly did make some decent chunks onto those turret plates. But now, yet another duel down here in the bot lane. Rockboom just going to lead the charge. Does not care that he's the AD carry. He will frontline if he pleases. We've seen his Tristana. He will jump right into a group of 5 if he wants to. I imagine the exact same thing will happen with an Ezreal.
Yes, that is the power of Nami Ezreal as well. The fact that he can just walk up, he still has his E for escape, and then the heals, the bubbles, even got the tidal wave. But Maokai already comes out, Cleanse comes out, flashes out, Nami wave comes out. Oh, the Briar Comes in, gets one. Can they get one more? He's slow. The
Got him.
Q comes out, and Ezreal gets it. Oh, they're not done, but Silas misses the chain or snare. I forget the ability.
Yeah, good little flash there from them, but good on the Saints to be able to turn that one. Alonso did get hit by the berserk there from the Renata Glasscald, so it was kind of stuck for the moment's time. But they were able to turn it. That tidal wave ultimate coming out from Alonso was basically the go button there for, I believe, Maddie to dive in with their own ultimate. As we now right back into the river. Ricky nearly getting caught. Sephiroth still has the ultimate, looking for the shockwave for himself. Got it, but that basically did no damage
Silas
in the
has
slightest.
no damage.
That is absolutely heartbreaking. Granted, that was on the tank. That was on top lane 101, of course, on that Renekton, and that is a beefy gator, and it just did not quite work.
That is kind of the problem with Silas, though, especially when your lane opponent is a control mage there. They have the range advantage on you. You'll go down in CS. You'll get poked out. And, Silas definitely needs his items to become useful, especially when he gets his first item. I think it's Everfrost, I think, right? The snare and the HP one. Definitely needs that just to keep the targets in front of him, CC, because he is a very short-range champion, right? Yeah, he may have some ways to jump on people, but all of his damage is kind of right in front of him.
Absolutely, and just kind of focus him down, and we can see exactly how Sephiroth is having a little bit of a tough time.
Ooh.
Now, actually, newbie there, going to dodge a tidal wave, though, so nearly getting themselves into trouble, but keeps themselves in the game for the time being. Still has that ult in the pocket, too, in case Rock Boom wants to go crazy. And with there not being a true shot barrage, you're not going to get sniped out, at least for this moment. But I would still be kind of scared, though. Maddie there on that Briar, once that ult pops, that's basically a jump scare, right? If Nocturne was bad, Briar is just, Chucky. I swear.
It's a newer Nocturne, all right? In League of Legends terms, that's scary.
I could scare you without blacking out the entire screen.
You just look at the abilities and the numbers. It's like, what can I do? It's newer. It's a new champ. What can I do? Ezreal, look at the presence. Look at just the confidence as well.
Oh, caught though. This is going to be troublesome, though. That is going to be the shutdown going over to the Vayne, but the Vayne does go down before the Renata Glass can get them back in this one. But now, top lane 101 does manage to take out Maddie, and that is just going to kind of snowball this one. That's going to be Nami. Alonso does end up going down as well. With a dragon up in a minute, they should be able to get some vision to go for the next play. But I tell you what, I am a lot more confident in this University of Illinois squad in terms of their team fight potential for this game compared to the last.
If they just slow down this game here, allow the Vayne to farm up a little bit more, the Renekton, the Renekton pick is there so they have something for early game aggression there. We saw the Gator roll, all right?
The Gator roll, yeah.
The Gator roll, hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, and the Gator is the pinnacle, right? It's not changing. But yeah, Illinois just can slow the game down. They just doesn't want to get caught as I speak here.
I mean, it was
Oriana gets the kill though on the Nami, but so Maokai goes down. They get split up. Ezreal then trades out. So was that 2 for 1?
Yeah, 2 for 1. 2 for 1 that time by, but it almost was not. I was very, very surprised that they would dive in that hard onto the support, or not the supports, but the jungler, considering, yes, the Maokai is not necessarily the richest player in this game right now, but it's still going to be a beefy boy. And they opted to ult in onto it anyway. Nearly got it turned on them, but pulled it off in the end to at least go +1. A very insane back and forth game in terms of eliminations, and still to the point where nobody has a gold lead really here. 32.7, 32.6. It's literally now 0.7, so literally back and forth. But with a dragon now up here, the Saints are in position. Maddie should be able to shred this thing alongside Rock Boom nice and quick. And it looks like Illinois, instead of trying to contest this thing, right, with the exception of Clicker, they're maybe looking for towards the top side or something.
Illinois definitely lucked out on the Soul Drake this game, being Chem Drake. It's not the strongest one. It's not the weakest one, but, just gives you, I'm pretty sure if I remember, it's extra shielding, I think, and healing stats, and as well, I think, tenacity as well.
I mean, Maddie's going to be loving that.
Oh, absolutely. But There's no rush. You can give up another Drake. All right, you got another 5 minutes just to calm down, stop the bleeding. Clear out some wards. Yeah, Baron's going to be up here in 2 minutes 30. But Vayne already has static shift down, so she has an item for wave clear. All right, they're getting the pieces here. They're getting the gold. Orianna does look good right now. She has her Leandries as well. And Renekton has a bounty now. He was 0-3 a minute ago.
Yeah, the last couple of minutes was absolutely huge there for top lane 101. And now that the static shift, like you were saying, is in Refugo's pocket, that does maybe allow for a tiny little bit of AoE in the team fights as well. Some extra shocks if it still works the way I think it does. But even still, I think that gives you a little bit of attack speed too, which helps that burst or that Silver Bolt's passive. But Newbie is in for a world of hurt, but to be fair, they did draw the tidal wave.
I think just do the stat in the fight bot there. Oh, Maddie gets a Newbie. Jarvan trying to get out there. I think Jarvan's out of there with his flag Q combo here.
Yeah, this is scrappy. Just a little bit of engagements back and forth there. Top lane's down on the bot lane, running for her life. Meanwhile, everybody else is up here underneath this turret. The Maokai ult is going to come from Narnia and still keep on going. Not going to root anybody down, though, so Saints are going to be able to escape as they please. What could have been a little bit of a scuffle is not going to be anything more than that. With the Baron about to spawn in about a second or so, everybody wants to go back and make sure they're on full force.
Now here comes the problem now. Since Jarvan, right, he does have a lot of good early game stats, but as a laner, right, and especially, Gore Drinker and all that, right, he's fallen off here. He can't contest the Renekton. The Renekton now is in control of the side lanes. Jarvan's now going to have to respond to this Renekton. This Renekton can now push the side lanes, force at least 2 people into that lane if they want to deal with them. And that will give Illinois a lot of time, a lot of breather, give Maokai to farm his camps. It is kind of unfortunate when you do have in this game state where, you don't really want to fight. They do have control. Their Ezreal's fed and their Jarvan, good combo to get on top of you. You're going to have to forfeit a lot of your jungle up, which will stagnate the Maokai, right? But hopefully, they'll get enough waves shoved into this Vayne. This Vayne will get her. She has a Triforce now, looking for a third item. Once that Vayne gets the third item, I do think that's when the tables are going to flip. Illinois is going to look for some fight, probably for the third dragon or a Baron here. And then I do think they have the advantage there of the champs they have with, Maokai, the Renekton there as the front line. Orianna, ultimate, if she gets like 2 to 3 people in that, good fights can just flip like that.
Yeah, I feel like it just basically, it doesn't matter if anybody else on this University of Illinois does damage as long as they can peel, like you're imagining. As long as they can keep Refugo alive, which based off of game 1 was a tall task, but right now in game number 2, looking like a completely different player to say the least, doing a solid job in these team fights. Maybe a couple moments of over-aggression down in the bot lane early, but not too bad for the last little bits there. But those passes are going to do it for itself. Nice play, actually. It's going to force the ultimate immediately, but here comes Cages and the ultimate. It's going to root them both down. Good night, Alonzo. Rock Boom going to be right there.
Oh,
They're going to try and turn this, though. Refugo's in the back line. Does get 2 before going down, but Maddie is also still fed. It wasn't all just on the 80 carry here for the side of St. Clair. Top lane 101. That beefy Gator in the front line. Maddie does not want to go in on it. Sephiroth doesn't want to. Ricky's definitely posturing. What do they want to do here? They have actually the Berserk as well, but this time from the Silas there of Sephiroth, but it is not going to hit. They're opting to go against it. I think that was a 2-for-1 in the favor of Illinois if this stays as is, which it very well might not.
The pull. Jarvan gets out, though. The flag pull, kind of annoying. You think you get him, and then he just goes over the wall, and you don't see him for another 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, never mind that. I'm out of here. But good timing here now for the University of Illinois, looking for the Dragon in just a moment's time with so many low health bars on the Saints, or they're running back. Actually, they're beelining it. I think they want to actually contest this.
They definitely have the early vision control here, but sadly, they are getting their wards cleared out. They don't have time to rebuy the control wards, but here's the fight. Oh, tidal wave coming out here. Renekton pops ult. Brer comes in.
Dragon's low. And where did that end up going? It went on over to the side of University of Illinois. Back and forth we go. Ricky still in the back line, shredding everybody. Refugo had a little bit of time to work, but not as much as they needed. But the player that had all the time in the world was Maddie, just to go off on everybody. I don't care if you focus me, if I could heal everything back up immediately. And that just, all the Saints piled on the damage. They won that team fight rather convincingly, 4-4-0, and they're going to be able to get themselves a Baron on top of this unless a miracle happens.
Very good team fight there. But it looks like St. Clair is going to take the Baron here as well after that fight. Definitely was close there. Jarvan very low there. I'm not sure if Vayne was ulted or not. I couldn't tell. There's a lot of chaos going on the screen. I lost where she was. Maybe that Jarvan dies there. Vayne's able to come back alive there, or at least stay alive, and maybe they're able to end the fight. But there's still time on the team. There's still this game's still not over. They do have to play a very good defense here as well from Illinois here, just to keep them alive. But they're definitely probably gonna have to give up at least 1 or 2 inhibitors as well.
If it keeps going like this, absolutely. And it's just such a defensive way that they have to play, and such a disciplined way that the University of Illinois have to play right now, because they might see the kill shot in their range, but the moment that they overextend is the moment where Refugo gets left alone, and it just takes Ricky, it just takes Maddie, Zephyros, anybody to dive on through here, as we do see a little bit of a scuffle in the river. That is definitely an instant regret moment there for the Renata Glask on the side of Illinois. And as we do see, split screened on over, the Collegiate iRacing League is just about to get underway. Athena Leclerc, Tristan Leclerc, and Adrienne will all be in action in just a short amount of time. And it might be quicker than we expect that we can hop on over if it does end up going the way it is right now. Saints are finding just little individual picks over and over with this Baron buff. You were mentioning inhibitors. It's definitely looking like inhibitors are going to be on the menu if Maddie can hang on.
Absolutely. Renata Glass coming back up here, trying to join the fight late, but it might be just too late. St. Clair winning the C5, dumping out, but that turret, it hurts. It hurts. But it doesn't matter when you have 4 people with you, and then Silas able to take a lot of that.
Just like that, it is an ace. They just have to wait for these minions. They are going to shred down this turret, shred down this inhibitor in a moment's time. And I would say there might be enough time here to actually go on forth towards some of these inhibitor turrets, but they do not have a whole heck of a lot of time. Top lane 101 is going to be there to try and contest, but you're trying to do it up against the 5 or 4 members of St. Clair. Dove on immediately. That's going to be the ace once again. The respawns, can they come on out in time? The last minute play coming on out, but the Vayne has been gobbled up. Going to be on the fountain, takes care of it, and that's enough time for the GG. Saints are going to take care of the University of Illinois in a 2-0 fashion. We have like 2-0s and 3-0s across the board here today. So beautifully done there for the Saints as a whole. And what a day of game day.
Yeah, absolutely. I did really enjoy the league game. I really thought Illinois was gonna flip the last game there on its hands, but the fact the bad drag fight turns into Baron, they come out of they lose the driver's seat, right? And then just getting caught right before the real fight, the Renata. It's really unfortunate there. I did like the draft that Illinois did in their game plan.
Yeah, like in theory, there's probably different 80 carries that could have pulled that off a little bit better. But if Vayne was a pick that Refugo, which to be fair, picked Caitlyn in this meta too, so just must really like these auto attack based 80 carries. And I'd rather have a comfort pick over a meta if I'm not familiar with the meta pick. So Refugo definitely had a hard time to say the least, even though, like you were saying, kind of got ahead a bit in that lane initially. But just is a heartbreaking way to lose because you don't even feel like you get that final fight. Because there's just these little picks that happen over and over and over again. And right at the very end was able to just snowball into the final fight basically being at your Nexus.
Yeah. Really good draft out of St. Clair. You know, I don't know how exactly the draft worked out exactly, but They had a lot of tools to be able to get on top of that Vayne, get on top of the Renata, just being able to find those picks right before a fight. Because if you fight 5v5 into that, I'm pretty sure St. Clair will lose up front because of the Maokai, the Renekton, and then the Orianna, right? Really good. You really don't want to engage into them as a 5. But if you're able to find those picks, find those openings, definitely St. Clair, like they just demonstrated, finds the path to victory.
Absolutely. And Saints across the board finding the path to victory here in tonight. To recap everything, of course, that went on. The varsity team up against Rowan University in Valorant, 2-0. The varsity team up against University of Illinois in League of Legends, 2-0. The Academy roster up against West Virginia University, and the match that was to get them a last chance qualifier spot in the NACE Star League playoffs, 3-0. I don't know what it is about these game days, but it seems like for the most part we have sweeps galore, and I hope everybody at home enjoyed the broadcast here. Of course, we still do have Collegiate iRacing League coming up in just a moment's time, but of everything that we've seen so far, Brendan, how are you liking it?
Oh, I'm having a great time. Watching St. Clair, especially on like the Call of Duty games there. First map, was very close, right? With the hard point,
That was an amazing hard point.
It was a really good hard point. I do like those close games. It does make it exciting, compared to like a blowout. But then St. Clair, after a little shaky first game there, gets the edge out the win, and then now they just blow through them, and then just third map, it was just they almost lost it. They almost
was still down to round 5. Yeah,
it was down to round 5, but able to come back, group up. Good defense last 2 minutes of that last map there. Close it out a 2-0 series.
Yeah, when the attacking side was consistently winning that map, and they got defense, I was really worried for a second there because, how do you kind of break that cycle? Well, they figured out how to do it just at the right time. Of course, Collegiate iRacing League is now in action. We've got Athena Leclerc, Tristan Leclerc, and then Adrian going to be joining us here, where is just taking a look at our lineup right here.
He enters a time in P5.
And in fact, sure enough, you can actually hear the commentary squad, which is why actually, since this is the final broadcast of the day, and we do hear our friends over at the Collegiate iRacing League do have their own commentators. I personally feel like it might actually be kind of rude if we continue to commentate over them. So what I'm going to opt to do instead, I'm going to give production a quick second to get this all set up. Why don't we raid the followers? If you're still sticking around here for Collegiate iRacing League, we will send them over to our channel. I'm going to quickly set that up in a few moments' time, though, as we do take a look at the list. As of right now, this right here is just the qualifying phase, figuring out where everybody is going to start off. I do see Athena Leclerc there in 10th position, but our other drivers have not quite gotten an opportunity to turn a lap. Going to probably be starting at the back in that regard. But with that, we will be probably closing up in just a couple of moments' time, but just do want to give a couple thank yous, of course. First off, Brendan, thank you for commentating. This is your second time here on the desk in the madness that is Saints Game Day. Did you enjoy yourself?
Well, I had a great time. It was good to see the League of Legends team. I was really excited to see those games there. Glad that I didn't get to see Lotus again.
True.
Oh, man. Good to see Split and also Breeze coming into the map pool. And, good for St. Clair to diversify their map pool there. That's the one thing, right? You could be good at 2 maps, 3 maps, right? But the other team will find a way, to ban your 2 maps, and then you're just put on a weird map that you haven't really played, you've only practiced, right? Also, I gotta say the COD game also very exciting, always explosive and memorable.
Absolutely, yeah. Those were like we were talking about before. Lots of close matchups, and even for the league varsity match. Game 1 might have been a bit of a roll, but that was anybody's game in game number 2 until about the 20-minute mark. Then something just kind of flipped on its head. Some thank yous to everybody in the back room, of course. We do have TJ that was handling the varsity Valorant observing, the camera work there. Gabriel that was handling the League of Legends observing, helping the back room call the shots to know when all the excitement was happening. Jordan back in the back line there, holding the fort for the Call of Duty observing. Tommy as director, Amanda as the graphic operator, as well as the switcher. And thank you all, of course, for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. In just a moment's time, we're going to send things over to the Collegiate iRacing League's channel themselves. Make sure that you say hi there in the Twitch chat and let them know that we sent you. But thank you once again for tuning in, and we'll see you on the other side.